Okay, I think we'll get started with the first little activity. So I think all you'll really need for this group is paper and something to write with. I've tried to make most of the activities easy to do virtually, so let me know what works and what doesn't work so we can make it better for next week. I have some new things as well from last week. Thanks to Nicole for sharing some ideas with me too to help get us started. So the first activity is going to be a little sequence of letters. So I'll hold the sequence up for a tiny bit, and then I'm going to take it away, and then you'll see the sequence again, but with one of the letters missing. And underneath the sequence with the missing letter, there'll be a few options. And then you can look at those options and see what one was missing. So I'll explain as we go too. Well, here's our first sequence. Okay. So then here is the sequence, and then here is the missing one. So now one of these letters down here is the one that should be here. So take a second and pick what letter you think is missing. Okay, I'm going to show you the correct sequence now. So here's the correct sequence. So you can see the missing letter was an A. Okay, here is another one. So try and remember this sequence of letters, or what letters are there. It doesn't necessarily have to be in that exact order. Okay. So here is the one that is missing. Now, which of these letters down here should be up there? Okay. So, there, the missing letter was a P. So see if you got that right. Here's the next sequence. Okay. And here is the one with one missing letter. So, which of these letters should be up here? Okay. Here was the correct sequence. So the R was the one that was missing. And I have one last one of these. Okay, and here is the missing letter. So which of these letters should be there? Okay, and here is the correct sequence. So it was a J that was missing. Okay, I'm also not sure if people are writing comments to let me know things like they were last week. The format has changed, so I can't see if any comments are being written. So we can't interact as much that way, but I will read them after if there are any there. Okay, this next one is some shapes. So I have 5 shapes on a page, and I'm going to hold them up for a minute, and you can try and remember as many as you can, and then I'll take them away and explain the next part in a second. Okay, I'm going to take this down now. Now I have another sheet with shapes. So I want you to try and pick out from all of these shapes which ones were on the page that I just showed you. So what ones do you remember were on the previous page? Okay. So here is the original sheet. Try and make sure you can see both. So here's the original one, and then here was the one for you to pick shapes from. So all 5 shapes were there. So look and see how many you were able to pick out. There's a triangle, circle, diamond, square, and rectangle. Okay. So this next one might be a little trickier. So I have a page and it has 25 words on it. So I'm going to hold it up for 3 minutes. I'll set a little timer for 3 minutes so I know it'll be up there for that long. Try and remember as many of them as you can. if you can remember the order they're in. And then I'm going to ask some questions afterwards about our little word sheet. So if you guys are ready, and try not to write them down right now, because that kind of defeats the purpose of remembering them. So here we go, 3 minutes. I'll also read them out in case you guys cannot read my writing. We have hat, coat, shirt, shoes, socks, purple, orange, green, blue, white. Then we have some ice cream flavors: vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, butter pecan, and peppermint. Sorry, I just noticed my finger was covering one of them. We have flowers: rose, petunia, geranium, tulip, and orchid. And then the last line: floor, ceiling, wall, window, and door. So this will be up for 2 more minutes. Okay, 1 more minute to try and remember all of these words, and if you can, the order that some of them are in. Okay, about 20 more seconds. Okay, I'm going to take this little word wall away now. So, now write down your answers to these questions. Don't put them in the chat because then it kind of ruins the ability for other people to put their answers down. So there's 6 questions. The first question is how many clothing items were there on that list? So think about how many clothing items there were and write that down. The next question is, was the color red listed? So was the color red on that list of words? So just write down yes or no. Next question. What ice cream flavors were listed? So I'll give you a little hint. There were 5 listed. So try and write down all 5 of those flavors. I'll give you a minute to do that. Okay. Next question, question 4. What flavor was to the right of vanilla? And that question also gives you a little hint as to what one of the ice cream flavors were for the previous question. So what flavor was to the right of vanilla? So if you were able to remember kind of some of the sequences that the words were written in, then this question is for you. Okay. Next question. What 5 parts of a house were listed? So try and remember all 5 of the words that were parts of a house. Take a minute to write those down. Okay, and the last question is, what was the last color listed? Remember that sequence of colors? There were 5 in a row. What was the last one that was written down? Okay, I will give you the answers now. So the first question was, how many clothing items were there? There were 5. Was the color red listed? No, it was not there on that list. What ice cream flavors were listed? So there were vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, butter pecan, and peppermint. So look at the ones you were able to remember. How many were you able to get? Did you write a different flavor down that wasn't on the list? Were you able to get all of them? So take a look and see how yours compare. I'll read them again quickly. So vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, butter pecan, and peppermint. What flavor was to the right of vanilla? It was chocolate. So chocolate was to the right of the word vanilla. And what 5 parts of the house were listed? We had floor, ceiling, wall, window, and door. So again, see how many of those you got right. Did you write any down that weren't actually on the list? Check and see out of 5 how many you were able to get. So again, they were floor, ceiling, wall, window, and door. And our very last question, what was the last color listed? It was white. Okay. So those were all new. We didn't do any of those ones last week. But I had a couple comments saying that people liked the card task that we did last week. So we are going to do it again, and I'll explain it for anybody new that's watching. So I'm going to quickly shuffle my cards because I don't think I shuffled them after last week. And I don't want the same sequences. And those 3 tasks, those first 3 tasks that we did were all generously sent to me by Nicole, so thank you very much. It's great to have some fresh ideas. It's hard to figure out things that we can do just during these live videos. Okay. So, what I am going to do is I'm going to hold up 3 cards. Try and remember what cards are listed. This is similar to the letter one, though, the letter task that we did first. So we have a king, a 10, and a 4. So you can make this either a little easier or a little harder. So you can memorize just the number that the card is. So remember just king, 10, or 4. Or you can try and remember the number and the suit. So the 4 of diamonds, 10 of spades, king of spades. I'm then going to take the cards down, remove 1, and hold them back up. So there's no options this time. So with the letter 1, you had your options underneath them to try and trigger a memory response. But this time it's solely just what you think. So you're going to try, and you can write down if you want to, the card that's missing. So again, you can either do just the number or the number and the suit, whatever you prefer for difficulty. So then after a second of you getting to write down your answer, I will hold the card back up and we can see, all right, it was the king that was missing. So I'll start out with only 1 card missing and only 3 cards, and then we can kind of increase the difficulty by having more cards up, and then at one point more cards missing as well. Okay, so here is the first sequence. Okay. Then I'm just going to take 1 away, Now, what card was missing? And I will bring up the card that was missing now. It was the 10. So you don't really have to remember the sequence here. You just have to remember what cards are there. I'm going to try and do a sequence one after. We'll see how it works out. Okay. Okay. Here are the 2 remaining cards. What one did I take away? It was the Jack. Okay, I'm going to make it a tiny bit more difficult. I have 4 cards now. I'm still only going to take 1 away though. So just try and remember these 4. Okay. So what card did I take away? So I don't know if anybody saw that when I went to fix my hair and knocked my earring out of my ear and I don't know where it went. Okay, we were missing the 9. So here are 4 more cards. Okay. What one is missing? And our missing card was the 8. Okay, we're going to increase the difficulty a little bit again. I have 5 cards. As long as I can hold all these up, I think we'll be okay. This time I will take away 2. Okay. Now, try and remember what 2 we're missing. The 2 that we're missing were the 7 and the 2. Okay, we'll do one more like that. So here are the cards. Okay. So what two are missing now? And here are the two that were missing. Okay, we're going to try and do something else with the cards now. You can start out a little easy. So this time, just try and remember the cards in the order that you see them. And we'll hold them up for a second. And then when I take them away, I want you to try and write down the numbers in the order that you saw them. Then I'll hold them back again after so you can see the answer. So here's the first sequence. So try and remember that. I'm going to take it away. I'm not going to hold them up for long. Write down those two numbers. Try and write them down in the order that you saw them. Okay, so here are those two numbers again now. So look and see if you were able to get them correct. Okay. Sorry, just trying to sort through. We can't use any of the jacks, queens, or kings for this, or the tens. I'm just trying to make it single digits for you guys. So here's the next one. I'm going to take it away. Try and write it down in the order that you saw it. And here's the answer. I am going to have 3 this time. Okay. Try and write that sequence down. Here it is again. Here's your next sequence. Okay. Here is the correct answer. Okay, I'm going to do one final one that is 4 numbers long. Okay. Here is the sequence again. Okay, so I have one final little thing for us to do that I thought might be fun. And it is some trivia questions. I tried to find questions that were kind of broad, so that if you might not know all of them, but you might know some. And I tried to make them not too difficult because I find trivia can be a little difficult sometimes. So we have 8 questions. So I'll ask the question. You can either write down your answer or just think of your answer. And after I give you time to think of your answer, I'll just give you the answer right after. So the first one is, which fictional city is home of Batman? And the answer is Gotham City. Number 2. Spinach is high in which mineral? So if you've heard of this before, try and remember what mineral spinach is high in. And it is high in iron. So if you're ever looking for more iron, there you go. You can have some spinach. Number 3. In the film Babe, what kind of animal was Babe? Babe was a pig. Question 4. How many wonders of the world are there? There are 7. I'm pretty sure Niagara Falls is one of them, so I think a lot of you can say you've been to one. Okay, number 5. Which planet is closest to Earth? And the answer is Venus. Okay, we have 3 more. What is the name of the fairy in Peter Pan? And the answer is Tinkerbell. What is the most widely spoken language in Brazil? So what's the most common language in Brazil? The answer is Portuguese. And final question. Who is the world's fastest land animal? So who's the world's fastest land animal? So that does not include sharks and dolphins and all of those animals that live in the ocean. The answer is a cheetah. I didn't look up how fast a cheetah can run, but it is the fastest. Okay, those are all of the activities I had planned today for Memory Group. Again, let us know what you guys liked, what you guys didn't like. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment or let me know what you like. That way we can plan some activities, and it's always good to get new ideas, especially with this virtual class. So thank you everybody for joining me today. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.